Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Haas. I wanted to come out with this video because I know the 10th, I forgot to put the TH at the end of that, the 10th anniversary of WoW is coming out shortly after the release of Warlords of Draenor. Fitting expansion to put out for the 10 years, so really cool. I wanted to answer some of these questions because it's really intrigued. I wanted to get my own story out there as well. And then the alternativeblog.net actually has 10 questions for World of Warcraft after 10 years. So I kind of wanted to answer those questions and whatnot. You can find them just in the not in the comments, in the description. I just checked them out. They're actually a lot of cool content in there. I'd recommend if you're a blog person, go check them out. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump right into this. First off, why did you start playing World of Warcraft? Well, if you guys watched my history with World of Warcraft, you know it was actually a real persistence kind of thing. Somebody really tried to get me into the game. We started playing Alliance. I played a Paladin there first. I shortly quit the game after like level 10 or 20, something really low. And then I ended up not playing the game for about a month. And then that person had bought me the actual game and told me, hey, just reroll on Alliance, you get a free month, just do it. So I did it, or sorry, not Alliance, on Horde. So I did it, I played Horde. He quit, I kept playing, and the rest is history. I've been playing ever since, so Alliance didn't do it for me at first, but I guess Horde did. I played an Undead Warlock, which probably contributed to me actually playing for a longer time. Undead Warlocks were so good back then. What is the first class you ever rolled? Well, technically it would be a human paladin, but the first class I ever seriously leveled, past level 20, would be an Undead Warlock. So, I think I just answered that, so we can go ahead and move on. Which factors determine your faction choice in game? At first, it was because I loved the undead and I wanted to be on the same faction as undead. So it was really as simple as that. The Alliance was because my friend told me to play Alliance. I was really disappointed that I couldn't play Horde because I wanted to play undead. And on top of that, I was really disappointed that I couldn't play Paladin on Horde because I used to play a Hammerdin in Diablo. So it was kind of a double-edged sword. I had to make a decision, and the cool-looking undead models made that decision for me. What is your most memorable moment in Warcraft? See, this is a hard one because as much as I loved my Yogg Zero kill, it has to be like one of the most memorable moments. I'd have to say the most memorable moment is when my first guild was in their first raiding boss, Hydros, and for the first time I was tanking in a raid. For the first time I was raid leading in a raid, like a 25-man, and after 10 attempts we finally downed Hydros after like plenty of preparation. It was serious progression for a while, you know what I mean? So when we downed Hydros, that was my first taste of raiding, and that has to be like my most valued memory of back then. So definitely Hydros would be my most memorable. What is your favorite aspect in the game, and how has this always been the case? Well, I'd say my favorite aspect of the game, would be raiding, essentially. And it typically has always been the case. As soon as I started getting serious in raiding, it's always kind of been that way. Now I'm really gravitating in a more achievement orientation. Like, I never used to be into achievements at all, but now I just can't stop. So it's in that way, I'm changing. But typically, I still value raids over anything. That's my number one to me, is just being the best raider that I can be, right? So, I'd say raids, and yeah, it's been that case for at least the majority of me playing. Not always. For a while, it definitely was just surviving in Warcraft and trying to understand what was going on. But I think everyone went through that little learning phase. Do you have an area of game that you return to? Do you mean an actual area, or that's a little bit weird? But I would say the actual area that I would return to is Shat. Shatrath is my area. That's my jam. So you can definitely see me in Shatrath when Warlords of Draenor comes out, because I'm not necessarily gonna have to have a hearth out there. I can just have my garrison and be able to just hearth rate to Shatrath. So Shatrath's probably my favorite place to be. How long have you played, and has that been continuous? Ooh. Well, I have played essentially since 2005, just before 2006. Though it was like, I think I started playing in December of 2005, so literally 1 month from 2006. So you can kind of take that with a grain of salt, whether or not I started in 2006. The game came out, released 2004, I'm pretty sure. So the game was already close to 2 years old when I came around. And I know Burning Crusade had been announced, and I got to see all that progression and got to see the launch for that. So that was really cool. I think that's really what won me over for WoW, is just seeing how the expansion was kept. So that was awesome. And has it been continuous? No, it has not. It's been pretty continuous up until a certain point in Wrath of the Lich King. Near the end, actually, my guild had broken up, and I quit for a few weeks. I came back for Kata, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And then I quit right after like the first raid tier in Kata. It was just no, I was gone. So there was that. And then again, I came back for Mop. And like, keep in mind, I was gone for most of Kata. Like, I don't think I came back, and if I did, I came back to PvP. Now, when it comes to Mop, I did come back from Mop thinking, it was going to be a better expansion. It, of course, wasn't. It was really disappointing with Motion Vaults and Heart of Fear and just the content that we were given. I just wasn't a fan, so I ended up quitting again. And I quit most of Mop. I haven't played most of Mop, so I don't know anything about Mop. I'm just kind of learning the ropes and catching up. You know what I mean? So I'm doing all the catch up that all you guys have been doing for the last 2 years. I'm just doing the last month. So last year and a half. I don't know how long has Mop been out. I'm pretty sure it's close to 2 years. I've been gone for about a year and a half. You could say. Okay, so, admit it. Do you read quest text or not? I don't. There was a few quest lines, I don't know, like, why I would need to admit something like that, but, there are a few quest lines, like, the Wrathgate and whatnot, that you just want to read every little bit because you want to know what's going on with that lore, so, there's always that. Okay, so let's go ahead into the next one. Are there any regrets for your time in game? Are there any regrets for your time in game? That's an interesting question. And I actually feel like I do have a few regrets. I feel like the regrets that I have are some friendships and some bridges that I've burnt over the years. Because as a raider, as a raider that, you really, someone essentially like me, really has that drive to raid, and sometimes that kind of takes over your loyalty. And typically, I've bounced guilds, and people have been pretty upset about that. I don't really care about most of the people, but there are a very good portion of the people that I do care about. Most of them I still talk to. Some of them I don't talk to. So that's probably the biggest that I regret. Luckily, I do have like people like Racker that stayed with me for the last 7 years, something like that, something crazy. So that was awesome. Okay, so we're on to our last question, our final question here. What effects has Warcraft had on your life outside of gaming? Wow. Okay, this is where the video all of a sudden just boom got long. So I can honestly say Warcraft has changed my life in so many ways, and I know that's so weird to hear somebody say, but I can legitimately say Warcraft has literally changed me like insurmountably through my life. It's actually ridiculous how much I've gone, from one moment to the next, and being able to um just do certain things and talk to certain people. Like, I used to be really kind of shy and awkward, and it all changed in WoW. It was all a kind of different ballgame. That's when I started becoming a raid leader and started, becoming a guild leader as well, and also learning how to be the best that you can be, and like that there's no limit to what you can do. It really taught me that, no matter how much you can always know more, and no matter how good you think you are, there's always someone better. And I think that's a very important lesson to learn in general, like with anyone in life, is just that you're not number one, but you can always work to be number one. And I think that's really important, is never forgetting that it's a constant grind. It's a constant, uphill battle through everything in life as well. So there's all of that. You just really gotta pay attention to certain situations. Um, but it's been a pretty wild experience in general, and yeah, it definitely has changed my outside life, because I go, like, I'm kind of like a management type person now, and I never used to be that kind of person. I never used to be the kind of person that would start social activities and be the one to always be the talkative one. I was always a quiet, kind of shy, kept to myself kind of person. And WoW definitely just opened me up through the years, and it's been great having this social tool, going through. And in all honesty, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. I wouldn't be doing anything like this if it wasn't for WoW. I was like, my first videos were WoW, and I know that this channel's not big, and I understand that, but I'm working really hard to get this channel to where I want it to be, and I'm confident that I'm gonna get this channel to where I want it to be. And that's the most important thing, is the confidence that I'm going in it with, and the drive and the determination to do it. That's the important thing. And I definitely think that WoW specifically has been one of the sole proprietors to give me that ability to really focus down and be able to just put a lot of effort into something like WoW, or something like my YouTube. So it's been a huge impact and been really important for me in just my own personal progression. So I definitely think, WoW is just one of those biggest things that just changed my life. It definitely did, and it's something that I'm never gonna stop playing. Until the game's actually dead. Uh, I keep saying that I'm never gonna come back to the game, but a new expansion comes out, and you have to. Something calls you, something begs you to go back. So there's nothing to fill the void, and I'm going to keep giving Blizzard my money until there's something better, or until Blizzard kills it themselves. And either one doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. So Blizzard, you can have my money for the next little while. You guys have definitely earned it, even with the shitty Miss Pandaria and the Cataclysm. Let's just make it a good expansion. That's all I ask. Let's make Warlords of Draenor the best expansion that we've had. And in general, I feel like everyone's on the same page here. Warlords of Draenor is possibly going to be the best expansion that we've seen since Burning Crusade, and possibly the most hyped expansion since Wrath of the Lich King. So don't let us down, Blizzard. I know that there's some things that are a little bit questionable. I'm not going to ruin anything, but some things are a little bit weird, especially after reading the book and then seeing some contradicting things in game. I was kind of taken aback, but hopefully we see some good things coming from Warlords of Draenor. The beta just ended, so everyone's kind of settling down and getting ready. We have currently 2 weeks to go, not even a week and a half to go. So we're right around the corner, guys. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited. If you liked my 10 questions, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And on top of that, I also want you to send me your 10 questions. Like, if you make 10 questions, go ahead, just send me a link, send me a YouTube inbox. I'm not gonna like do anything. I'm not gonna put you on my channel or anything stupid like that. Unless you want me to give you a shout out. You know what? In that sense, if you do a 10 Warcraft questions and you want a shout out, go ahead and just say, hey, can you give me a shout out in the next video? I'll give you a shout out for sending me your 10 Warcraft questions. But if you don't want a shout out, but you still want to share those questions, I just want to read them. So go ahead and send me those questions. I want to see what you guys, what your experience has been for World of Warcraft. It hasn't exactly been 10 years for me, but I'm excited to get to that 10-year mark, and I still can't wait. And I'm excited for all the people that are going to be with me at that 10-year mark. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, have yourself a great day.